Welcome back to another Explainer, everyone. I am so absolutely thrilled you're tuning in today. We're going to be exploring the fascinating world of one of nature's most iconic creatures. And, as you can see, we've got this wonderfully vibrant owl hanging out in the background, and they'll actually be sticking around, keeping us company, and kind of guiding our journey through the entire Explainer today. We are diving deep into the facts, the myths, and the straight-up biology of the wise night guardian itself, the owl. So, let's jump right in.
All right, let's kick things off with a classic misconception. Can owls see in total darkness? Now, I know it's a super popular myth that they've got this magical pitch black night vision, but the answer is actually no. They cannot see in total 100% darkness. Actually, to operate and hunt effectively, these nighttime predators require just a tiny fraction of ambient light. But as we'll see in just a minute, the way they utilize that tiny amount of light is honestly nothing short of incredible.
Section 1. Guardians of the Night.
It's so fascinating just how diverse and communal these birds actually are. I mean, we're looking at over 200 distinct species worldwide. And, fun fact, if you ever happen to see a group of them together, you're looking at what is brilliantly called a parliament. I literally love that term, so good. Now, out in the wild, these birds have a remarkably long lifespan, living anywhere from 10 to 25 years. And to top the whole shebang off, they are fantastic parents. Raising their young is a real team effort, with both the male and the female actively working together to raise their owlets.
Section 2. Anatomical Superpowers.
Okay, just look at this number, 270 degrees. That is a staggering statistic about their head rotation. You've probably seen those videos, right? The ones of owls spinning their heads around, almost like they're on a swivel. But the absolutely crucial point here is why they do this. Owls actually cannot move their eyeballs at all. Their eyes are entirely fixed inside their sockets. So because they can't just roll their eyes to look left or right like you and I can, they developed this biological superpower. They adapted to simply rotate their entire head up to 270 degrees instead. Mind-blowing, right?
And their sensory arsenal? It's perfectly adapted for the dark. Those fixed eyes we just talked about feature incredibly large pupils, which is exactly how they let in the absolute maximum amount of that ambient light we mentioned earlier. Plus, those eyes are forward-facing. This gives them pinpoint depth perception, which, as you can imagine, is absolutely vital when you're diving in a moving target in the pitch black. But hey, it's not just their eyes. They also feature asymmetric ears. That means one ear is actually positioned higher on their head than the other, which allows them to precisely locate exactly where a sound is coming from. I mean, it's basically built-in radar.
And to really hammer home just how advanced that radar is, check out this fact. The barn owl has the best hearing of any animal ever tested. Think about that for a second. Out of all the animals on Earth that scientists have evaluated over the years, this specific owl comes out on top. Their sensory evolution is just completely off the charts.
Section 3. The Art of Silent Hunting.
Let's break down this mind-blowing predatory sequence step by step. So, step 1. They use their facial discs almost like little satellite dishes to funnel sound right directly to those asymmetric ears. Their hearing is so incredibly good, they can literally hear mice scurrying under 30 feet of thick snow. Crazy, right? Then, step 2. When they take off, they fly completely silently. They actually have special serrated edges on their feathers that literally break up the air turbulence, totally silencing their approach. Step 3. Once they catch their prey, they just swallow it whole. And finally, step 4, because they obviously can't digest fur and bones, they neatly package up those leftovers and regurgitate them as pellets. It is a perfectly engineered, hyper-efficient stealth mission every single time.
Now you might be wondering, if they're so perfectly silent when they fly, why do owls hoot? We all know that iconic sound, for sure. Well, they break their silence for a very specific reason. Hooting is basically how they communicate with each other in the dark, and crucially, it's how they mark their territory. It's kind of their way of planting a flag in the night sky.
Section 4. Global Owl Diversity.
And, their global adaptability is just incredible. Owls thrive on literally every single continent on Earth, well, except for Antarctica. And when it comes to choosing a home, they really aren't picky. They'll nest in tree hollows, up in the rafters of barns, along rocky cliffs, and remarkably, even inside cacti. No joke. They've managed to figure out how to thrive in wildly different environments all over the globe. To really see this adaptability in action, let's look at the extremes. On one hand, you've got the world's smallest owl, the elf owl, standing at a tiny 5 inches tall. You could comfortably hold it in the palm of your hand. But then on the other hand, you have the Blackiston's fish owl. That's the largest of the species, boasting a massive 6-foot wingspan. A 6-foot wingspan! The size range across those 200 species is just absolutely phenomenal.
Section 5. Why owls matter.
So what does this all mean for us? Well, the answer comes down to one staggering number: 1,000 mice. That is what a single owl can consume in just 1 year. Owls are absolutely, undeniably vital to our ecosystems. They act as nature's ultimate, highly efficient pest control. I mean, without them, rodent populations would completely skyrocket, which would have devastating effects on our crops and local environments.
Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. Knowing how incredible their superpowers are, and knowing how undeniable their value is to our planet's ecosystems, how will you help protect our night guardians? It's something I really want you to ponder. These colorful, superpower-wielding birds do so much for us while we sleep, so it's really up to us to appreciate and protect them while we're awake. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive today, and hey, keep your eyes peeled the next time you're out after dark.